Men are a mystery. We think they're a symbol of foolishness and sweetness. Unfortunately, there are occasions when unimaginable things occur. When a person is older than a toddler going through terrible twos, he or she is rarely rebellious or enjoys drinking. Sometimes a person is purely evil. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at the top 10 most evil men in history. Yeah, you heard it right. Number 1. Brenda Ann Spencer. In 1979, 16-year-old Brenda shot 8 kids and 1 police officer to death at Cleveland Elementary School in San Diego. She also killed the principal and the custodian. When asked why she did it, she said it was just a lot of fun. Number 2. Willie Bosket. In 1987, while attempting to rob Noel Perez on the New York subway, a young man named Bosket shot and killed Perez. Bosket was only 15 years old at the time. After that, he was convicted of the murder of another man during an unsuccessful robbery attempt and given a 5-year prison sentence. He was eventually let out of jail, but he went on to commit multiple felonies afterward. He's currently being held in solitary confinement once again. Number 3. Jesse Pomeroy. Jesse was sentenced to prison for his role in the sexual abuse and physical torture of 7 other boys. After serving his time in prison, he was eventually released. And shortly after that, he murdered and dismembered a young girl of 10 years old who had entered the business owned by his mother. Jesse was taken into custody not long after the gruesome death of a child who was only 4 years old. The year was 1874 and he had just turned 14. Number 4. Lionel Tate. On July 28, 1999, Lionel's mother was babysitting Tiffany Eunuch, who was 6 years old. When she went upstairs to watch television, Lionel was 13 years old at the time. Lionel continued to beat Tiffany for the next half an hour, which ultimately led to her death. He is the youngest person ever to be condemned to life in prison in the US. Note that his conviction was eventually reserved and he was released. Nonetheless, he was then arrested for armed robbery after committing the same crime again. Number 5. Mary Bell. Around her 11th birthday, Mary strangled 4-year-old Martin Brown. 2 months later, she strangled 3-year-old Brian Howe to death. She then carved an M into his stomach with a razor and cut out parts of his hair and genitals. She was arrested soon after but released at the age of 23. Number 6. Ricky Kasso. In 1984, while under the influence of LSD, Ricky, then 17 years old, killed his friend Gary Lauwers in the woods located behind Northport, New York. Ricky afterwards claimed to the police that he had a conversation with Satan, who revealed himself to him as a crow and told him that he was delighted with the deed. Number 7. Brian and David Freeman. Brian and David, 17 and 16 years old respectively, were found to have beat their parents and younger brother to death. Apparently they also shaved and tattooed their heads as a sign of their Nazi affiliation. Number 8. Kip Kinkle. On May 21, 1998, Kip murdered his parents and then shot up his school. 2 students died and 25 were injured. He was 15 at the time. Since a life sentence would be considered cruel and unusual punishment for his age, the judge sentenced him to 25 years for killing his parents and the 2 students, and 40 months for each of the 26 attempted murders. He also lunged at an officer with a knife. That means he'll be behind bars for 111 years. Number 9. Pierre FOLLIOT. 14-year-old Pierre murdered both his parents and brother and injured his sister with a gun on October 30th, 2004. He committed the murders with Shrek playing in the background and would intermittently stop to watch as he waited for more family members to return home. Number 10. Dylann Roof. Dylann, a white supremacist, was invited to attend a prayer session at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church. He then proceeded to open fire, killing 9 people, including the pastor, in an attempt to ignite a race war after being allowed into the church. He was just recently given a sentence that will result in him receiving the death penalty. He'll make history by being the first defendant charged with a hate crime to receive that punishment. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.